Hello friend, in this video I will show you the demo how to get the access token in a Salesforce. So in a Salesforce we have 5 ways to get the access token. Here is the 5 way you can get the access token. So line by line I will show the demo and as well as explain the way to get the access token. So first way is username and password flow. The definition, the authentication is directly in Salesforce using the Salesforce username, password, and security token to get the access token. And also you add the client ID and client secret. The use cases of this flow used for backend automation or script where no user integration is required. So in this flow, user integration is not required and is working as a backend side. The benefit of this flow, simple and quick to implement. It is very simple and you can easily implement it. No need to no need for browser and user login page. The third one is work well in background job and integration. The disadvantage of this flow is required to storing the username and password not secure because this flow is store the username and password, so this is not a secure. The second disadvantage is security token change can break the connection, means whenever the security token is changed your flow will be break. The third, user password expiration will stop the integration, means user password expirations your whenever you change your password so your flow will be break. So this is the disadvantage. Security token password are changed your flow will be break. Now here you can go and get the security token. Here is the button to regenerate your security token, and whenever you press the button you get the email inside the security token. Now the step connected app important point. So here is not mandatory any scope, but you can give the two scope: access and manage the data API, and second is perform request to behalf any type of refresh token and offline access. And also you can give the full access. In Postman side you give the post request and give this URL and give the header, and it is important grant type is password, client ID, client secret, username is your org username, and also add the password plus security token so you can get the response. And now it is important topic which in this flow, because now external client app does not support the username and password, because now it is latest or have no option client app. I will show the app manager. Here is not client app but it is external client app. So this is new external client app have no option. Here is also documentation because username and password flow is not supported for external client app but it is supported for connected app. Okay, so in this case I in many other document they will be facing the same issue because username and password flow is not working. Yeah, so keep it in mind because this flow is not working from external client app, and I'm also created the external client app then using this client ID and client secret. So that's why I'm not getting the response, but I will show the way to get it. Here is the URL and you can pass client ID password, client ID, client secret, password, and username, password plus security token, and you can press to get the access token same as this. Okay, so this is the simple flow you can get the access token. The second flow is client client credential flow. So this flow is used to machine grant the client your app service to exchange client ID and client secrets to get the access token. In this flow also no user login involved. The use case of this flow when the external system or API need to connect the Salesforce without user context. So that's why we have to use client credential flow. The benefit of this flow: no password or user dependency, easy and secure for backend system. Token does not expire due to the password changes. The disadvantage of this flow: no user specific permission. In this flow, no user specific permission act to connect the app. The second is cannot perform the user level action. chat or post as a user. The third is does not return the refresh token. Okay, so this flow is not return the refresh token. Now the important point, whenever you perform the client credential flow to get the access token, so you have to make sure enable auth setting and auth scope, give the pool and API. These two scope will be added in your app. The third one is enable the client credential flow. Without check this checkbox, you cannot get the access token. And third, go to policy section, and in plugin policy section, select the permitted user to allow. Here allow the self authentication, and also fifth step is auth flow and external client app enhancement to enable the client credential flow and select your user. So here you can see the select particular users to get the access token. Now the postman step, simply post request, give the URL. If you are using the production, so going to login, you are using the sandbox, give the test login. Okay, header is content type, the body client type is client credential, client ID and client secret. No need to give the password as you so in username and password. No need to give the username and password, mention your credential. Only give client ID, client secret and client ID, client credential to get the response, and in the inside response you get the access token, but not return a refresh token. Keep in mind. Okay, so now I will show the demo of client credential flow because it's working on external client app. Okay, so before I'm going to my client credential app, this is my client credential app, and also I'm showing where you get the security token. Just quickly, here going to setting and personal setting, here is options reset my security token. Inside you click, so you get the email. Inside email you get the refresh token, sorry, security token. Now I'm going to my external, this is my external client app. In this app I'm going to first I'm get the client ID and client secret. Here to click and get client ID and client secret. Now second thing, I'm giving the scope. This is the two scope is very important. This one, sorry, full access, and this one full access in API. Okay, now second is enable the client credential flow. This checkbox is enabled. Now here is the, sorry, this one policy side, you can give the permission, enable client credential and give the particular user permission. So this is my system admin permission and enable the client credential. And here is the postman, where we give the URL, client type is client credential, client ID, client secret. And when we click, so you can see it, I will receive the latest access token. And this access token is available 24 hours. Okay, app authorization, session timeout minute. Here you can also be reduced and increase, but maximum is 24 hours. Okay, so this is the client credential flow to get the access token. And now the third one is the web server authentication code flow. The web server authentication code flow. This is the third flow to get the access token. The definition of this flow, the standard auth login flow. A user login via Salesforce login page. Salesforce send a authentication code and your app exchange it for the access token. Means in this flow, user is involved to log in this via Salesforce login page, and whenever the user is login, the Salesforce will send the authentication code and your app is exchanged and get the access token. Like where I will log in, enter my username and password, then Salesforce will return the authentication code, and your app will exchange and get the access token. I will show via Postman to how to get the access token using the web server authentication flow. Okay, the use case, web, the for web and desktop application. for web or desktop application where user need to log in Salesforce credentials. In this case, you can use the web server authentication flow. Again, I will web and desktop application where user need to log in with Salesforce credentials where you can use this flow. The benefit of this flow: very secure, password not share with your app. It is very secure and password not sharing with your app. The second, the user can approve or deny app access. User can approve and deny app access because whenever you log in, you can see the pop-up to button can approve or cancel. Whenever you give the approve, so you can give the access to this application to get the access to content. The third one is work with the multiple factor authentication MFA. Work with multi-factor authentication. This is working behind the scene multi-factor authentication. This flow. Disadvantage: uh, requires browser-based user integration. Require because browser-based integration required. Disadvantage that requires browser-based user integration. This slightly complex setup. In this flow, in slightly complex setup, this is disadvantage: callback handling. And in this flow, we have to handle the callback. Okay, the important point in connected app to enable auth setting. If you have to pass the callback URL, so here I'm giving the pass my postman URL. This one I will add it into connected app. So whenever the postman will give the request, so it is redirect to postman, right? Okay, selected scope. So I'm giving the API and refresh token and offline access. You can give the two scope. The third option, but good practice. It is optional, but good practice requires secret and web server flow should be enabled. This checkbox is enabled, but it's not mandatory. Okay, the postman step setup. Open the postman, create a new collection, click the authentication. I will show in a live demo. Okay, the refresh token flow. This is the one. Okay, so now I will show how to get the flow. So first I'm going to my org, and in this org I will show. Okay, give the access. I will give the full access, so no need to any additional access. And here is the which checkbox I have to enable. Let me see. Okay, require secret and web server will be given by. This checkbox is mandatory, but you can enable it. Okay, so this is mandatory, so I'm not going to check it. Okay, here is no need, only for give the access scope and also give the callback URL. Here I'm giving the callback URL from my postman URL. Okay, you can use this flow from your application, so you can give your application URL. Okay, now I'm performing using the postman. So here I have go to authentication side, and here I'm giving the authentication URL. This one is the authentication URL, authorization, and auth 2.0 token. Okay, then client ID, client secret I will pass. The scope is API refresh token. I will pass two scope, API and refresh token, and stand as a basic auth header, client authentication. Now here is the button new get new access token. But as here you are not authorization using the browser, so I'm using click the authorization using the browser, not from this URL. So it is open the pop-up from browser, going to redirect the browser. Yes, it will be redirect from browser side, and already my org is login, so it is automatically authorization complete. And when we click, you can see the access token, and also this flow will be returned the refresh token. Here you can see the refresh token. Okay, so I will copy the refresh token because in next flow I will be use refresh token to generate the access token. Okay, so I am just in notepad. I will save this refresh token, and this access token I use it. Okay, and here this is my simple get the account record from my org. So here it is, here in this simply Auth 2.0 flow, and here I'm using the token is my access token, and now I'm click, so automatically it will get my all account detail. Right now my org have only one record. Let's see how many account I have. I have only single record, so that's why my here I'm getting only single record, this one. By default it is written only name, but you have to mention as a query. So this is the working access token. So this is the web server flow to get the access token. Okay, so this is the way you can get the access token. Now the third one is the refresh token flow. The refresh token flow is used to get the access token without asking to user to log in again. In this flow, you have to already have a refresh token. So using refresh token, you get the access token. So don't ask to again login page. Don't show the login page again to get the access token. Okay, the use case when you already have the refresh token from the previous login, for example, long running integration or mobile app keep user login in. When not used, you cannot share with this. It only work after you done another flow, like web server flow. Means you cannot start with this. So means you cannot be start this flow using refresh token flow, because you have to perform previous web server flow to get the refresh token, then after you can perform the refresh token flow. Okay, so in previous I will show how to get the access token and refresh token using web server flow. Now I have refresh token, so using refresh token I will be get the access token. Okay, so this is a simple process. The postman is request this URL. Also you can sandbox, use the sandbox, you will use test. Then simply client type is refresh token, client ID, client secret, and refresh token add. So let's see how to perform in postman side. So here I will already add in, this is my URL. I will use post request, client type is refresh token, client ID, client secret, and here I am using my latest refresh token which I use here, copy and paste, and now I will get the access token. So you can see it easily get the access, because this is in my previous flow I will get the access refresh token. So this refresh token we can generate a new access token. So this is the simple flow, you can get the access token. So this flow is also be useful when you are using the web server flow. Okay, so in this flow you can easily get the refresh token through get access token. Okay, now here is the image to get perform and get the access token. Now so in this flow, JWT Bearer Flow, JSON Web Token Flow. So this flow is very important and very secure flow. The definition of this flow is used to digitally sign certificate JWT to get the access token. In this flow, we have to use the digital certificate, and this certificate we have to upload on the external app. Then it will register and get the access token. So this process is very not for lengthy, but it is little bit lengthy process which I will show you in the demo, so you can easily understand how to generate the access token and certificate using OpenSSL. Then use case of this flow for secure server to server integration where you don't want to store the password. So in this flow we are not storing the password. The common in CI/CD tools, Apex Callout, and Copado and MuleSoft integration, where you can use the JWT Barrier Flow. The benefit is most secure flow, no password, only signed JWT. Works silently, no user login. Great for automation, schedule, and background job. The disadvantage is required certificate setup. Little bit extra step is including to generate the certificate. It can be tricky and configure to first step. The connected app important point is required scope is two required scope you have to give in your external client app. The JWT Bearer Flow requires certificate and where you have to upload the step connected app, go API, enable auth setting and use digital signature. Here is the step you can generate. First you have to download the OpenSSL. This is the link you are going to download the OpenSSL, download and install in your PC. Then go install, and this URL you have to add your environment URL, add this link. The third step is generate the private key using this command, generate the certificate using this command. I will show you. Then after I create the folder and how to get the certificate and private key. After you have to write, I'm generate the token using the Node.js because in my system I have Node.js. So using Node.js I'm getting the token and this token to get the access token. So first npm init to initialize this code and then npm install this JSON web token. This is the module to use using this module to generate the JSON token. Now after run this command to, and then after we have to perform the postman step using this URL, use this post request. Header is content type, body we have to add grant type using URL IETF params auth grant type JWT barrier and accession. Here I will be add this JWT token. After we have to get the access token. So this is the little bit lengthy step, but I will be perform so you can easily and get the idea how to do it. So now one by one I will be performing. So here this is my desktop. Here I will already get this private key certificate, but now I'm using new folder. Here this is my folder name. I'll give the name of JWT Flow. Simple, I'm giving the JWT Flow folder name. Inside folder I'm opening the CMD. Okay, so this is my first command to generate the private key, but before you have to download the OpenCLI using this link. Using this link you have to go this website, and here I'm using the Windows, so Windows 65 exe I'm download, and after download you can check in your system it is successfully installed or not. Open SSL version. Okay, so here I'm successfully download and install into my PC. Then after I'm performing these two steps to generate the certificate and private key. Okay, so this first command to generate my private key, and also you have to add this. Okay, before I'm so some important other step, after you have to install your open SSL, you have to go up here and you can check open SSL 360, and this URL you have to add in your environment variable. Here I will be add this one. Okay, then after you can easily access the version. Okay, then after I click to generate, sorry. Okay, this here to perform, and as well as I will be show my JWT flow, this one. Okay, here whenever I will be click, so you can see it here. I will be created the private key, and second command to generate my certificate. But before, I have to add some country name, two-letter code. So my country name is India, IN. Second is state of providing the full name. My state is Gujarat. Gujarat. Locally name, sorry, loc locality of name means city. City is Surat. Then organization name, company. So I will add IT. Then organization unit name, I will be blank. Skip. Email address, simply test @gmail.com. And successfully my certificate is created. You can see it. Now the second thing is you have to add this certificate into your external application. Here I will be add the certificate JWT. It is not my folder. I'm just go and JWT flow. Inside this is my certificate. I will be added and successfully save. So my certificate is successfully added into my external site, external app. Now the second step is here is my code. I will copy because it is previous code. Now I'm just create here one folder. Here I'm just add simple created folder JWT add token folder. Okay, just rename token. This is my folder name, and here I'm just opening CMD code to open the VS Code. Okay, here you can see it. Now I'm just open the CMD. Okay, CLS clear CD to go JWT folder, and inside folder I'm just create one file name is generate token.js file. Inside I will paste this code. This is my username. Here is my client ID, and this is my private key which I will give the path. So what is this the code? First we have to import the fs file. This is the module which is used to generate the token. This is the npm module inside, and then I will be give the path of my private key, and I will be create the payload. First is my client ID, second is my username, third is Salesforce instance URL. Then give the 5-minute exp. Then this is the function JWT sign payload private key. To this function will generate the access token. Okay, before we have to npm init to just click skip to here is generate. Yes, sorry. Okay, here is my package.json file is successfully created. Now I have to create install this package. So npm install, or here is I have already, here is this command to npm install JWT first clear and install this package. Okay, so node module file is created and you can see it. Okay, here where you can see equal dependency, this package is created. Now I'm going to clear and run my generate token file to generate token.js node. So you can see it, this token is created. Now here is my Postman request. Here I will be grant type is URL IFC params auth, grant type is JWT barrier, and here I will be pass this token and give the okay. So you can see it. I will be get the access token, and using this access token we can get the ID. So I will be so here this is my account URL, just copying and create another one request, and here I'm just using the barrier token, sorry, basic auth, maybe the JWT barrier, which one I have to use barrier token, and here I'm just using this access token. It is working or not, so I'm just using barrier token, and no need to be, and just click here. You can see it, our account detail is passed. So this is the way you can get the access token, and using access token you can easily access the Salesforce any object, records and fields. So this is the way you can get the access token using JWT token. So again recap all the way we have performed. Okay, so before we are going to open SSL to install the SSL, then after we are added this path into my environment variable, then after we are created one folder, inside we are performing this command to create the private key and this command to create the certificate. After generate the certificate, we are added this certificate into my external app, external client app. Then I have created one more folder, name is Salesforce JWT, and then inside we have created one file, JS file. Here in is my JS file code. In JS file I will be added the client ID, subject name is username, then we are giving the URL, exp we are giving the minute, then it is the code, this is the function which we are passing the three parameter payload, private key, and algorithm is rs256. Then it is will be generate the JWT token, and this token you added into my Postman body. Grant type is this one, and session here we are added the generate token to perform this request to get the access token. So this is the way you can using JWT token to get the access token. So this way you can get, and here is the image to get the access token. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel.